Hello everybody, this is Mike from MBoxWave.com. I just got into a short position on this morning's Emini Dow Jones, so I'm gonna walk over the analysis that I saw and then we'll see what happens. So markets opened up around here, and there was an interesting thing that I noticed. So I was watching this. You see this huge red box. It only lasts for one bar, but it's even higher than this entire box. And look at that candle. It went nowhere. It barely went anywhere. And then we had, a small blue box. And I was, looking at this and thinking, man, that's a big case of effort, no result. I didn't trade it, but, I think it sets a precedent for the trade I just took right now, because we had some demand here pre-market, and then when the market opened, all this buying, and this is a buy imbalance since it's a red box, but price moved down and it's above zero, and then pops up a little bit and then bam, slams down, huge supply, right? So, and when I zoomed out and I'm looking at this box and this box, I zoom out, they don't exceed this in the previous day, but these two red boxes down, they are substantial enough. They exceed pretty much almost everything except for this box. So to me it looks like a lot of supply. Around 5 in the morning we had demand here, and that failed to follow through, right? Price is weaning down. So to me it looked like demand is being exhausted. And as we got closer into the trade, I'm going to start marking stuff up. So let me get this. So here we have supply, and here we have another round of supply. So here we got the MBox supply. And here we got another round of MBox supply. All right. What was going on here? And the cumulative buying I can see is constantly decreasing. It's being exhausted. Right where it became exhausted, we had a nice upthrust. Right. So we have the cum buying, exhaustion. Right, and when we zoom out, we can see that it's actually been, it's prolonged. It's happening from here all the way here, because at 5 in the morning we had a large amount of demand, and we failed to get anything accumulate since then. So I also took note of that. So at the same time, and before getting in after this pullback, you can see that the selling is expanding. I need to watch the trade because I don't have a fixed take profit yet. I'm going to keep an eye on it since I didn't see a previous level that I could use, but I'll get back to that in a little bit, so I give myself enough room to see what happens. All right, so we also have, we've got the pace of bids, right? Pace of bids. We are outpacing the offers. All right, and we see that consistently, so after the open and continuing, and as we're coming down, I'm seeing that. So let me get here. So about the entry, so I entered after this pullback. So the pullback gave me a good indication as an entry point after I saw the underlying analysis. So let me get that here. Pullback, sell. Right. And what I want to point out is that, we see that selling is expanding, right? And it's making, lower lows. We go from minus 322 to minus 466. So it's kind of hard to, in the boxes, it looks like they're about even, right? But, I mean, this box is a little bit more, but overall, if someone had some questions about, well, these look about the same, and, this box is smaller than this one, it's true, but we see that the overall supply is increasing right here, so I'm not worried about it. To me, this looks like an additional round of supply, like double supply. I got supply here again, and we see it in the wave delta here as well. So we've got wave delta supply minus 322 going to minus 466. All right. And at the time of this pullback, right, we see that we have a demand drop, goes from 215 to 106. $215 to 106. All right. And, when I'm looking at the histogram here, I'm seeing this, and, this doesn't look like nothing in terms of demand, but it's compared to the supply, it's not much. So this looks like weak demand on the MBox weak MBox demand. Okay, looks like we're in good shape. Price is going in our direction. We're making even further lower lows, so that's good, right? And so on the weak MBox demand, I also want to point out, to notice these things, that we're making, lower highs here. Weak demand, lower highs, the picture fits. Here we've got supply coming in, lower lows, the picture fits, right? All right, so that's what I marked up for now. We can count the points of confluence at the time of this pullback sell. So that's a point, that's 1 point. The demand drop is 2 points. We've got wave delta supply, that's 3 points. We've got the lower highs, that's 4 points. Weak MBox demand, that's 5 points. We've got supply, it looks like double supply to me, so that's another 2 points, so that's 7 points. Cumulative buying, exhaustion, it's 8 points. Cumulative selling, expanding, 9 points. Pace of bids outpacing offers, 10 points. That's my usual 10, but there's other things I can write here. I drew this support line after I saw that price came down again to it, and we're making we're having a lot of supply, and then that's where the pullback happened. So we also broke through this support level. That's another point, right? So I could say 11 points, right? So that's the story that I see, and like I said again, helping to give context, seeing that we had a lot of demand earlier, but it failed to materialize. If we consider that as well, that'll be 12 points. All right, so let's talk about the take profit. So I just put it arbitrarily. If we zoom out here, I don't have a good indication in terms of support level. Even if I go to a 5-minute chart, I'm not really being guided here. I like to use previous take profit and resistance. Previous support resistance levels for take profit, but I'm not seeing that. So I thought I would be handling this trade manually by reading the analysis. So far, it looks like we're in good shape. We're seeing a lot of A lot of look at that prolonged 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12 down bars in a row. That's a prolonged downward movement. So we're already over 5 grand in profit. So I could technically take the profits here, but I want to see if I can squeeze some more out of it. Looks like it's a good move, and we are coming down. So I'll put the record on pause, and I guess we'll see how the trade pans out, and I'll come back in a little bit. All right, so we're back, and I just got out. Get the order fills on. All right, so it's a little over 7 grand in profit, so happy with the result. I'll explain what my analysis was here. So that was my entry and that was my exit. Because this is a little blocking. Anyway, so price I think may still come down a little bit, but I saw I got a good result, 7 grand in profits, and I saw this right here, this box right here, right? And there's a lot of selling here, and I saw this. It's just a tiny box. I mean, these two boxes are similar in selling. I mean, this one's more, but they're similar enough to compare them. And we had this big price movement down, a lot of selling. We had a lot of selling here. It's a little less, but it's still a lot, if you compare them visually. But it's a tiny, puny box. It's just too much selling, Um, you know, I could look at it and say it's, effort, no result. Maybe it's, a push of a flood of supply to push prices further down, but I'm not really sure right now. So I decided to exit, and since I didn't have a level that I was eyeing, it looked like a good opportunity to exit. So I did that, and happy with today's results. So anyway, yeah, this was interesting since we had this sort of double supply here, and the story fit. We've got selling, expanding, buying, drying up, buying exhaustion. You know, we see that in the MBox delta, cumulative delta. We saw that in the wave delta here, right? Saw the demand drop, and got in at the pullback sell, and looks like the pace of bids are still outpacing the offers, but like I said, so I'm out, so I'm done for the day, and I'm pretty happy with how that trade turned out. So that'll be it for me today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.